Merci, Madame la Présidente.
Thank you, Madam Chair. My question will be a very short one. I gathered that one of my honourable colleagues said that by putting traffickers in prison, we will have safer communities. And I do believe that Mr. Gagnon and Mr. Morency shared this view. Correct me if I'm wrong. However, the report that we have does show this to be the opposite. The report says that violence increases. This is a report established by the International Center for Science and Drug Policy. My question then is for Mr. Bratzer. I'd like to know whether you share this view of Mr. Morency and Gagnon about the effect of imprisonment. Do you think that that imprisoning these people provides safer communities, or does it increase violence?
It's distinguished in this case that we're talking specifically about drug offenses, and in my opinion, and the opinion of the current and former law enforcement officers who are part of law enforcement against prohibition, I would say that it does not make for safer communities, and perhaps it's counterintuitive, and we need to differentiate between an individual drug trafficker who goes to jail, and yes, the community is then safe from that individual drug trafficker, and that person has faced consequences for their actions. And certainly I think it is important to uphold the rule of law. However, we cannot underestimate the resiliency of the black market for drugs in Western societies. As soon as that individual drug trafficker is taken off of a street corner, what that does is create a vacancy for somebody who is more experienced, more ruthless, more clever, who will then come in and fill that vacancy. So individually, yes, that trafficker goes to jail, but in terms of the larger black market, no, it has not made those communities safer.
Alors, est-ce que ce serait tout simplement...
Would it simply be an illusion then that we have safer communities if by putting traffickers in prison? Is this simply an illusion on our part, or is it a reality?
Our experiences to date since the modern war on drugs started back in 1970 would show that this is not the case. In that intervening 40 years, despite billions of dollars invested in drug law enforcement, drugs today are cheaper, they are more available, and they are more pure or stronger than ever before. As you heard some of the other witnesses explain. So in the long term, this public policy, this criminal justice approach to the issue of drugs in our society has not worked, and we need to consider alternatives. And specifically, focusing on Bill S10, I think if you examine Bill S10 on its merits and on the evidence, this bill will not achieve any of its stated objectives.
Désolé, je m'impose.
Sorry, Madame Chaput, I would impose the same discipline myself as others. I have some supplementary questions, but I won't ask them. Thank you very much, Mr. Morency and Mr. Gagnon. Mr.
Difficult to be sitting there gazing at the screen with all of us putting questions to you, but we're very grateful to you. Very helpful to us, all of you. Colleagues, we suspend now for 2 minutes to allow these witnesses to take their leave and the next witnesses to come to the table.